की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, जय निताय गौर परमानंद. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Gun Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gauranga. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 10, and the text 36, the last text. Okay, so please repeat. Tatra ha tatratyair hariḥ pratyudyata-arhaṇaḥ sāyam bheje diśaṁ paścād gaviṣṭho gatas tadā tatratyair hariḥ pratyudyata-arhaṇaḥ sāyam bheje diśam paścād gaviṣṭho gatas tadā tatratyair hariḥ pratyudyata-arhaṇaḥ sāyam bheje diśam paścād gaviṣṭho gatas tadā tatratyair hariḥ pratyudyata-arhaṇaḥ sāyam bheje diśam paścād gaviṣṭho gatas tadā. Tatra at different places. Ha, it is so happened. tatratyair by local inhabitants, hariḥ, the personality of Godhead, pratyudyata-arhaṇaḥ, being offered presentations and worshipful regards, sāyaṁ, the evening, bheje, having overtaken, diśaṁ, direction, paścād, western, gaviṣṭhaḥ, the sun in the sky, gam, to the ocean, gataḥ, having gone, tadā, at that time. Translation and Purport by Srila Prabhupada. On his journey through these provinces, he was welcomed, worshipped, and given various presentations. In the evening, in all places, the Lord suspended his journey to perform evening rites. This was regularly observed after sunset. Purport. It is said here that the Lord observed the religious principles regularly while he was on the journey. There are certain philosophical speculations that even the Lord is under the obligation of fruitive actions. But actually, this is not the case. He does not depend on the action of any good or bad work. Since the Lord is absolute, everything done by him is good for everyone. But when he descends on earth, he acts for the protection of the devotees and for the annihilation of the impious non-devotees. Although he has no obligatory duty, still he does everything so that others may follow. That is the way of factual teaching. One must act properly himself and teach the same to others. Otherwise, no one will accept one's blind teaching. He is himself the awarder of fruitive results. He is self-sufficient, and yet he acts according to the rulings of the revealed scriptures in order to teach us the process. If he does not do so, the common man may go wrong. But in the advanced stage, when one can understand the transcendental nature of the Lord, one does not try to imitate him. This is not possible. The Lord is in human society, does what is the duty for everyone. But sometimes he does something extraordinary and not to be imitated by the living being. His acts of evening prayer, as stated herein, must be followed by all the living beings. But it is not possible to follow his mountain lifting or dancing with the gopis. One cannot imitate the sun, which can exhaust water even from the filthy place. The most powerful can do something which is all good, but our imitation of such act will put us into endless difficulty. Therefore, in all actions, the experienced guide, the spiritual master, who is the manifested mercy of the Lord, should always be consulted, and the path of progress will be assured. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 10th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwaraka. Hare Krishna. So here we hear actually some nice description what Krishna does, his activities. We may think, well, no, Krishna, then he is the Supreme Lord, he doesn't have to do anything. It's true, he is Atmarama, he doesn't have to do anything. He is self-sufficient. But we see he does. He does act as a charioteer for Arjuna. He does act as a small child for Mother Yashoda. He acts as a friend for his friends. He acts as a lover for the gopis. He does what he wants. Now, In spiritual world, it's understood. In spiritual world, everybody respects him. Okay, he's Krishna. Everybody loves Krishna, and then whatever he does, it's expected. That's where it goes. Like during the Govardhana Lila, when Krishna suggested to Nanda Maharaj, as a young little boy, just told Nanda Maharaj, don't give offerings to Indra. Rather give it to Govardhan. He gives everything, not Indra. Nanda Maharaj, he didn't have any option. He has to agree. But sometimes it's difficult, right? Now, for a father to hear some instruction from a 5-6-year-old boy, don't do what the habit is. Don't do what is the ritual. Don't do it like this. Do it some other way. As father, sometimes the ego comes up. He cannot really listen. Like we see the father of Ashtavakra. When Ashtavakra reminded him, oh, what you are chanting, it's wrong. He could not tolerate it. So, then, but we see Krishna does extraordinary things. Now, he is doing things properly. And whenever he can, he acts for the benefit of the living beings, doing something which he does not have to do. Like, we see he goes to Gurukul, right? Now, why does Krishna and Balaram need to go to Gurukul? What do they gain from going to Gurukul? But no, they go. They spend time in Gurukul. They learn the 64 arts, which it's coming from there. They are the masters. They are absolute, but they learn. Under Sandipani Muni, they learn. So, whenever they can, they do perform their duties like they would be ordinary living beings. Here, Krishna, now he, at the end of the day, the Sandhya comes, so he does his duties. Somebody chants Gayatri, somebody does Sandhya Vandanam, somebody does Yagya. So then various duties, but he does the religious duties. So what does that mean? Why is he doing it? Again, to show the respect for the Vedic scriptures. And if he shows the respect, then there is a good chance that the other living beings will also be respectful to the scriptures, follow the instructions as given by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So sure, now for this age, then we have one very specific instruction, chanting of the holy name. And that's the only instruction which really matters. All our other activities are meant to progress so that we can chant the holy name properly. Now, especially at the beginning of our devotional activities, then we follow also we are asked to follow the 4 regulative principles, regulations, so that we can follow the instruction properly. The regulations, the yamas, they are not on their own, they are not useful if there is not a goal. The goal is to follow the instruction. So we learn not to forget Krishna, so then we can always remember him. So that's very important. So now, as Krishna is showing the respect for the Vedas, so then we can also take the inspiration to show respect. It's very significant. It's very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left us as a teaching only the 8 verses of Shikshastakam. And in Shikshastakam, then everything is mentioned, what we need to know to follow on the path of devotional service, path of bhakti, and come to perfection. Now, in one of the verses, then actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us what we need to do. What we need to do to follow or to be able to chant the holy name. Because this is the only instruction. So now we need to find out, Hare Krishna. Then we need to find out then how do we chant. So Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shikshastakam, they explain. Now Rupa Goswami, he tells us, in the first verses, then we should control our senses, control our mind. We should avoid anything unfavorable, accept everything favorable, and develop relationships. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he specifically talks about what we need to do. Trinarapi sunechana, tararapi saheshana, amanina, manadena, kirtaniya sadahare. So kirtaniya sadahare, so to be able to chant the holy name purely, then we need to follow we have to develop 4 qualities. Being humble, being tolerant, not expect from others, for ourselves, and give respect to everyone. Now, again, the respect. So we need to understand the respect as being something very, very, very important. We hear from the Shastras that we should not offend. So offenses are very dangerous. How does offense happen? Offense happen because of disrespect. One of the offenses against the holy name is to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures. Vedic scriptures also, part of them are karma kanda, jnana kanda. We don't follow, but we have no right to disrespect. We have to respect. They are not maybe for us, but they are there, and they are by the Lord, or ordered by the Lord. So they are meant for someone who may be still on the lower stage, but who is trying to come to the higher stage. So following karma kanda or jnana kanda then helps them to elevate their consciousness. So it's good. So we have to learn to respect. We have to learn to respect the activities of people who may be on the lower consciousness, right? Like we see a child is learning something. He learns ABC. Then he is learning. He may not know the high conclusions. He may not be able to study somewhere on university, but still, he learned. He didn't know anything and he learned. So that progress should be respected. With respect, we can also, only with respect actually we can get anything. Proper respect then brings us closer. Proper respect also develops relationships. Through respect, then we can develop a gratitude. If we respect someone, so then it's easy to be grateful for what we are getting from the person. On the other hand, if we disrespect, then very easily we can criticize. We can become ungrateful. And there is no need to disrespect anyone. We may not appreciate that somebody is doing something, but we may try to correct the person, but there is no need for disrespect. In fact, no, we don't have to disrespect even the animals. They can be all respected. Their own ways, nonetheless respected. So, we should learn how we can respect people, how we can respect living beings, how we can respect even the non-living beings, or non-living matter. We can respect Krishna's energy. We can respect when you see some water running from the tap and nobody is around. By closing the tap, you are saving Krishna's energy, you are respecting the energy. Lights being on during the day, we can go and switch them off. You are respecting Krishna's energy. Now, keeping things clean, that's another way how we can respect how things should be. So there are so many ways how we can present or how we can manifest our respect for anything or anyone. And that's what leads us to that we can start getting understanding of how things work. But respect should be the proper way. Like we see example of Karna. He went and he showed respect to Parashuram. For what? He knew that what he is doing is not right. So, but he wanted to get his knowledge. So he cheated. And for some time it went. He got what he wanted. But then, at the end, he suffered because of this very moment. So there was a show of respect, but actually he wasn't respecting the person. He wasn't respecting Parashuram. Problem. Ekalavya, what was he doing? He was showing great respect for Dronacharya because he wanted to learn something. But he was not allowed. But nonetheless, he did what he wanted for his purposes, and he wanted to some plans with it. So for a moment, he was really good. He was able to get something. But same like Parashuram, same like Karna, right? He was unable to retain it. So respect is something very important. Because we either respect the Lord on the level of awe and reverence, so that's Vaikuntha above, it's fine. Or you respect him also as the best friend, lover or child, but the respect must be there. He is the only person whom I want to love. That's very important. So, respect. But how do we develop the respect? Because many times we have respect for ourselves. No? Self-centered. And nothing else matters to me. But that's the gaviṣṭho mentality. It's me and the Lord. I respect the Lord because I can get something from Him. Or maybe a guru. But Krishna or Rupa Goswami, he's giving us instructions. We should not stay on that platform. Even though it's beginning of bhakti, but it's very unstable. So we should learn to respect devotees. We should learn to appreciate the activities of devotees. Then that's a sign of madhyamadhikari. So being able to appreciate the Lord and His devotees then give us much more ability to develop the qualities of a devotee. So it's the respect. As Krishna is respecting here the rituals being done, we should also respect. There's no need to say we don't need to do. Devotees who follow the spontaneous devotional service, they don't talk about, I will not respect, I will avoid doing things. Whenever they can, then they follow the Vaidhi, Sarana Bhakti. But sometimes they get carried away, they get so absorbed in thoughts on the Lord, they forget to do things. There's no offense there at all. Such devotee, he will not show disrespect to the Shastra. He will not, why are you doing this? This is nonsense. You should do like I am doing. No. It's like, no, some PhD telling a kid, you should not be learning ABC, you should do what I'm doing. Give it a time and he will be doing. But right now he is not capable yet. So respect that he is doing what he is doing. Have patience and he will get there. So the devotees on the platform of spontaneous devotional service, they don't disrespect. They encourage. Okay, do the activities, follow the rules and regulations. It's good for you, at least for now. When you come above that, you will realize. So the simple thing is, whenever a devotee is thinking, should I do this or not do this? Should I follow this rule or should I follow this instruction? Whenever you think about it, you definitely should. When one becomes spontaneously so absorbed that he forgets, then there is no offense. But if you are thinking whether you should do or should not do, then you should be doing the right thing. What you need, what you know, is according to the rules and regulations. That's how it goes. That way, then the devotee develops his consciousness. So he develops the respect. So again, the respect is the most important. So how do we develop it? Manadena, right? Giving respect to everyone. Giving respect not to living beings, then giving respect to Krishna's energy as the material. Should still respect. How? That we have to become humble and tolerant. and we have to not expect. But it's very difficult. How do we develop these qualities in a non-pretending way? Actually, for real, how do we do that? Because we can show Hare Krishna, that we respect someone, but actually, in your heart, you may, he's such a devil, he's a rascal. I want to do something bad to him. Where is the respect? There's no respect. So to be able then to forgive someone, right? It's very important. There's so many things is happening to us, and so many things we do to others which nobody appreciates. How we take care of our children, how we take care of devotees, how we deal with them. We say things which we think it's no problem, but for somebody, it's a great difficulty. We don't care. We do things. Kids are playing sometimes, right? So when kids are playing, and all the kids, they have fun, let's play. But many times you see kids are playing, one is playing, and other one is being played. Right? He doesn't like it, but maybe he cannot do anything because the other one is stronger. So that's bullying, that's not playing. So constantly we are being bullied by others. We are being bullied by the material energy. We don't like it. And we are bullies too. Sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. And we like to complain. We like to show that we are the best and everybody else is wrong. And if I'm doing something wrong, it's because of somebody else, not me. That's the quality of conditioned living entity. We have to get above that. So we have to learn to respect. To be able to respect, first we have to work on how not to expect. Amanina. We don't have to expect. What do we need to live? We need very minimum. And with that minimum, we can do everything. We can work very well. We need some little space to live. We need little place to lie down to sleep. We need some water to take bath. And we need some simple praścād to survive. So this is really the minimum what one needs to survive. But now because of the mind, then we have some expectations. No, I am now big guy, so now I need big room, big house. I need this, I need that. I want this, I want that. And things start manifesting. It's like the mouse and Gita. There's a story in is it Jatakan? I don't know. I think Srila Prabhupada mentioned the story too, even though I'm not sure. There was a little monk, you can say, and he met with his guru, and the guru gave him instruction. Okay, you sit in the here there is a little cave. No, you have nice space here. So you sit here and you study Bhagavad Gita. That's all you need to do. Then he said, I'm going now for pilgrimage. I will come back and I will see how you are doing. Actually, it's from Upakana Upadesh, the stories. So then, the guru, he left, and the disciple, he's living in the cave. He just goes for begging to the village in the morning, and he lives like this very simple way. Now, as he is staying in the cave, and his possession is only the kopin, kantha, and gita. That's it. So then he is living there, but somehow then there is also a mouse living in the cave. So the mouse comes out at night when he is sleeping and starts nibbing on the gita. So then the monk or the devotee, then he gets upset. Such an offense the mouse is doing. He's nibbing on gita. I cannot tolerate this. But it's a big cave. He cannot find the mouse. He doesn't know. So I have to get rid of the mouse. So then, all right, he goes to the village. He gets a cat. So the cat, he keeps the cat. The cat takes care of the mouse. So now because of the cat, there is no mouse around. Mice are gone. But the cat is hungry. The cat wants milk. So now he got the cat, so he is obliged to take care of the cat. So then, all right, so milk, where do I get milk? I don't get milk for begging, so I cannot get milk to the cat. I have to get a cow. So he gets a cow. So the cow is outside, and he has to milk the cow. And now the milk he gives to the cat, and the cat is living happily. But the cow needs to be milked, so he has no time to do properly sadhana. The cow needs to be taken care of, even though it's grazing, but no. So he is thinking, I cannot take care of the cow, needs a lot of attention, I have to study Gita. So then he said, okay, let me just get somebody who can take care of the cow. So he goes to the village and he asks if somebody can take care of the cow for him, because he needs the milk, some milk it and give it to the cow. So there was a girl. She said, I'll take care of the cow. So now he is living in the cave. Then there's a cat, there is a cow outside the cave, and there is the girl taking care of the cow. Now where's the girl going to stay? Right? So that the girl she doesn't want to go every day to the village, so she is staying with him. So after some time, he forgets about studying the Gita, and then they get in love, they get married, and now he is married. So then he moves into the village. He starts working hard, and he builds a house. So he's a house. He's living there with the girl, now his wife. Then they have children. They have a cow. They have a cat. They don't have mice. Gita is somewhere there in the house on the side. And suddenly, after some years, the guru comes around. He's looking for the disciple in the cave. It's empty. Nobody was here for a long time. Nobody is here. What's happening? Now he goes down to the village, and it's like a huge house there. He says, who is living here? And from the house, oh, Guruji, I am so happy to see you. Oh, this is my disciple. Didn't I ask you to study Gita in the cave? Yeah, but mouse and cat and cow and the girl, and then I got entangled. So now I don't have really time to study Gita. So now it's very easy to get entangled like that, and that can be just from our expectations. If we don't control our desires, what we want, we mix up what we want and what we need. Therefore, it's very important to see what you really need, what you think that you need, but actually it's that you want. I'm living in Gaurnagar, and I'll need a BMW to go to the temple every day. It's for Krishna service. I need it. Otherwise it's raining and things like that, so I need to get to the temple. But I'm not going to go into some, I don't know, ambassador or Toyota or something. No, I need BMW not to be in style when I go to the temple. No. Is it the need or is it the want? Everybody has to honestly decide for themselves what actually it is. Don't cheat yourself, don't cheat Krishna. So, when we control our expectations, then we can expect that we will be able to give more respect, that we will be able to be more humble, and that we will be able to be more tolerant. So to work on not expecting for ourselves, it's the best way to start, because that's what we can practice. Every time, every day, you can say yourself, do I expect that? Do I deserve that? Or do I want that? What it is? So these qualities, we have to recognize in ourselves and try to control them, develop the proper ways. And when we have the control expectations, we can develop respect for everyone and everything. And we can control or we can develop being humble and tolerant. Then, kirtaniya sada hariḥ. And that's the only instruction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives. This is the only instruction our Guru gives us. So that's all it matters. And that's how we can develop it. So then, why not to take it seriously? So Krishna is showing us what we should do. And it's not that this is something extremely old or that was before. That's the end of Dvapara Yuga. That means Kali Yuga is coming. So why is Krishna showing it? To whom? To people in Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga or Dvapara Yuga? Dvapara Yuga is over. So that's what the age of Kali is for, this age. People before, they had respect. In the modern age, we learn to disrespect. And that's very wrong. You see now, people disrespect, right? They learn to disrespect each other. They learn to disrespect the parents. Oh, they're old. They're not useful anymore. They just put them into some old people's houses. No productive. Now they only take money. Where is the respect? So these things Krishna is showing how we should do, and we should do it to our best capacity, whatever we can. That will give us the ability to understand how to chant the holy name properly. So there is a connection. If we don't respect, so how do we decide what we don't respect? I respect him, but I will not respect him. It's not true. You cannot do that. What if they are friends? So if you show disrespect to friend of your friend, is it the respecting your friend? No. That's why Krishna is saying, and if you love me, you have to also love my devotees. I respect them. So if you are a devotee, also learn to respect. They may be different nature, so maybe they don't get together very well, but still there is a respect. Never need to be offense. Never need to be disrespect. Hare Krishna. Okay, any questions? Yes. There's a mic.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Nice imparting today. Maharaj, my question, actually when we follow the principles of instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroreva Sasmina, but the reciprocation is very poor. What is our primary responsibility, even in the case of devotees, how long and how?
Even if?
When we follow the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroreva Sasmina, but the reciprocation is poor from the even society or devotees and all areas. So what is our primary responsibility even in the case of devotees? How long tolerance and how?
Yeah, you see, so you're living in the society, right?
Yes.
And in society of devotees, then everybody has different nature. Everybody has different needs. Everybody is in different level of how much they want, their expectations. So we have to learn to respect that. If somebody has some desires which are not compatible with devotional activities, then we should still respect the devotee and try to correct him best by our own example, how to avoid it. But there is no need to criticize the devotee. When Lord Brahma fell down with his own daughter, it was something unthinkable of. It was very bad. But at that time, there were only his sons, the sages. And they could have, in modern society, you'll probably stone him to death or something like that, right? Depends on which level of consciousness you are talking about. It was very bad. But they had great respect, and with respect, they spoke with Brahma, and they showed no sign of disrespect. Brahma understood that what he did was wrong. He gave up that mentality, and everything was back to normal. Nobody ever reminded to Lord Brahma. There was no need for it. So there are 2 points to see from this. First, that even the highest living entity in the universe can make a mistake. But making mistake is not such a big problem if you have the society, if you have friends to work on that with you to help you get over the mistake. But showing disrespect to such a person, criticizing the person, you are not helping him, you are not helping yourself. So rather we should now figure out how we can help the person. And the other, that Brahma, being a devotee of the Lord, actually very elevated devotee of the Lord, he wouldn't fall for it. But it was Krishna's arrangement to show that, the first point, that even the highest living entity can fall. So we should not think of ourselves as somebody who never makes a mistake. So today is you, tomorrow it's me, it can be. But we should try to help each other so then we can overcome these difficulties, because these difficulties come from our anarthas. So the chanting of the holy name is the only way how we can remove the anarthas. So therefore we should be very eager to understand how can we chant the holy name. And to chant the holy name purely, it's only possible when we develop Trinadapi Sinishan, Tarapi Sturshna, Amanina Manadena. So how we work for it? So these 4 qualities we have to develop. And alone it will be very difficult. So the society should be working together how we can help each other to develop these qualities. And while mistakes happen, then we should also be learning to be humble and tolerant, and being merciful and respect each other. finding good qualities in others. It's so easy to find bad qualities in others because everybody has some. So what? But look for good qualities. So you can appreciate, you can respect the person for his good qualities. Maybe a thief, that's bad. But being a thief, maybe he's a good father. We can appreciate him being a good father. But we may not appreciate that he is stealing. But still we can have respect for him. He is a good father. Even when you go to the court because you did something. So they want to know if there is something which they can appreciate on you. They want to know your good qualities. And sometimes the judgment is, okay, actually, he did something which is bad. But this was an accident. Because we see that he is a very good person. So therefore, we will not punish him. We are not afraid that he's going to do it again. So even the court is looking for good qualities. But sometimes among devotees it's not like that. Which is very, very sad. Why do we need to criticize others, devotees? Why? There's no need. We should not. When we stop that, then we can hope for understanding what we should do. And that chanting of the holy name purely. So that's the reason. So society should be like that, helping each other, associating with each other, being merciful to each other, forgiving to each other, respecting each other. So that's what society should be like. And respect is very important because sometimes it's difficult because of different nature, different needs. But we should learn that I can still respect something in the person, maybe some quality, and focus on that. And the other thing, leave it to others to deal with it. Somebody who has the potential, somebody who has the power, right? He is the authority, he can deal with it. But even the judge, the king also, he respects even the person who he punishes. Because the punishment actually is for benefit. It's out of respect. You understand? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Okay, one.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My question is, there's a saying that familiarity breeds contempt. And first when we meet
Content, yeah?
Contempt.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
first when we
contempt.
meet somebody, we might have a lot of respect genuinely. But as we get to know them, we're in danger of offenses. Especially from what I hear, like if you're living with a bunch.
So, don't we have? Who is our founder Acharya? Who has written all the books and all the instructions what we should do? How we should be as a society? How we should endeavor to change the world? How we should live according to the Vedic culture, according to the Varnashrama Dharma? Srila Prabhupada wrote everything in what he actually wanted us. Now, would he be the figure that we should learn to respect? He should have our ultimate respect. And with Srila Prabhupada maybe not being present in this planet right now, but he is present in his purports. So, the respect to Srila Prabhupada we show by studying his books. And studying, I mean not just reading, but actually seeing how I can apply what Srila Prabhupada is saying. And if I don't understand, then go to someone who understands, so then it can be explained and followed. Because Srila Prabhupada wants to follow. Srila Prabhupada wants us to follow, right? He's giving the instructions of Bhishmadev how the proper society should function. Is it utopia? It seems like now, but that's the goal. That's what the golden age of the Kali Yuga, the next 10,000 or 9,500 years is for. To develop that so that we could still live according to the ideal society. But if we don't practice it ourselves, we cannot expect that it will be any soon applied. And of course, we are born in different places, different families, so many things, conditioned, and it goes with us. The anarthas, we are carrying them always wherever we go. But if we keep trying, and especially developing the respect, then we can chant the holy name purely, which is the only remedy to remove the anarthas. So this is the only remedy for us to start to understand what is our part in this Hare Krishna movement. So we can start with respecting our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. So that's the best way. Yeah? Hare Krishna. And if we have other people, other devotees, senior devotees who follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, we can respect that. That way then we can have living example. But if somebody does not follow exactly what he's supposed to, we don't have to disrespect. Do you understand? We don't have to criticize. Okay, last one there.
Okay, Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for the nice class. You were explaining how to cultivate emotions side by side, like we have to respect and also see something through the eyes of the Shastra. We're trying to be humble, be tolerant, but also and respect. But Srila Prabhupada was an affirmative man, like he always took an affirmative action for that situation, for that circumstance. He was never passive, like, okay, he did like this, he was not just letting go of everything, like, okay, like that. He was always taking an affirmative action, but we see this is lacking in our movement presently. One thing is the lack of ability to cultivate emotions side by side, like not just black and white, but considering the situation in a wholesome way, but also being affirmative, like what needs to be done for that situation.
That's only understood when you understand the difference between the principle and detail. So Srila Prabhupada, he understands the principles. The principle is always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Those are the two main principles from which other principles and details manifest. So whatever he did was to please Krishna. Now, when he goes to the West, he sees that the topmost standards cannot be followed. So should he just pack up and go back? No. He sees what needs to be done because he wants to please Krishna. So let's go step by step. The Vedas, they go step by step. First you follow karma kanda. Then after some lifetimes, you will understand that karma kanda is lower than jnana kanda. So you will follow jnana kanda. And then after some lifetimes, then you will follow upasana kanda. And now you will develop into bhakti. Eventually, after some time, okay, no problem, take your time. I respect that. Krishna respects that. Therefore, now these scriptures are, even though step by step, but still they are meant for the advancement of the people, of the living beings. So we should have respect for them. So now, Srila Prabhupada knew exactly what needs to be done in given situation, so then there is a progress. Sometimes less, sometimes more. You see, even the other religions, if you properly follow Christianity, or Judaism, or even the Muslim religion, if you follow that, there is a progress. There are scriptures talk about its progress. Maybe not full understanding, nonetheless still progress. But if they don't follow, then no. It gets concocted. So, if we follow the instructions based on principles, the main principle being, if I do this now, is it going to please Krishna or not? Just think like this. I am going to do something now. Is it going to be pleasing Krishna or Guru or Sadhu? Is it according to the Shastra? If your answer is affirmative, you say, okay, yes, it is. Then do it. If you see that it's not, don't do it. And if you don't know, then you ask somebody senior who may know. Or see Guru Sadhu Shastra. Read Prabhupada's books, purports according to Shastra, then you will see whether it should be permitted or whether it's permitted, whether it should be done or not. But somehow we get the liberty to decide on their own without even considering the Guru Sadhu Shastra completely. Like sometimes it happens, some devotee falls down and we take the liberty to judge him or to criticize and to do this, but it's not permitted even by the Guru Sadhu Shastra. We should find some other ways. Sometimes you see that devotees, somebody does something wrong and for some is eternally condemned, more like the Christians. But any devotee, even though does something wrong, can always come back to the same platform as soon as he changes his consciousness. And that's done in the association of devotees. So it should be always, rather than condemning someone, so encouraging to come back. That's what Srila Prabhupada did with his disciples who fell down and come back. He put them back to the same position. So we should be more merciful to each other. We should be more forgiving. But it doesn't mean that if we have an authority that we should not exercise the authority if somebody does something wrong. But that's something wrong, the father punishes his son because he did something wrong. He may beat him up or whatever it may be, he may deny him something, but he is not hating him, or he is not saying, you are not my son anymore. The punishment is done with the proper consciousness that I don't want you to commit that mistake again. So please forgive me, but I have to punish you. When it's done in proper mood, then the son understands that it's for his benefit. Then he accepts it, and then the relationship may even deepen. I had seen, there was one boy, and he got into some really big nonsense. His friend, he found out about it. So first thing, when he saw him, he punched him really hard. What a nonsense he is. Now, that friend who did the nonsense, and he was taken aback. Oh, what is it? Oh, no. Why are you doing? He explained. Few days later, he actually understood and he appreciated that his friend, his best friend, punched him and woke him up from doing the nonsense. That's what we need. The king, he gives punishment, but he gives punishment to those who are accepting the punishment. If somebody does not accept the punishment, the king will banish him from his kingdom. So, that means somebody who gets banished, he has no protection. That's worse for the living entity than being under the protection and taking the punishment. So that was understood before because of the Dharma Shastras. Now it's just anybody can do anything and you have no responsibility because there is no God. That was the general belief, and therefore you are free to do whatever you want. So you can approve any action, everything is right. It's a nonsense. That's done because we don't understand the principles. So we have to learn to understand the principles, and from the principles we can understand what's detail. So detail may change in the situation. Like you go to the doctor, and the doctor, he is going to treat you. That's a principle. You are sick, you go to the doctor. Doctor treats you. Now, he may treat you differently as somebody else. You go to the doctor, you have a fever, and now the doctor, he gives you pills. Somebody else goes to the doctor with a fever, he gets different pills. Somebody else goes to the doctor and he doesn't give him pills, he just tells him drink more water. Or no, he may just give him, or just don't worry, no, it will go. Depends on the fever. So that's a detail, how he gets treated. But the principle is he gets treated. So the main principle is what we are doing should be always connected to Krishna, directly or indirectly. If we cannot find the connection, then we should be hesitant doing it. If we know it should not be done, we should not do it. And if we are not sure, we should first verify with somebody who knows. So understanding principles and details, that's what Srila Prabhupada, he was a master in. He knew. Therefore, he was able in every situation say yes or no. Very clearly. So devotees should also develop the ability to understand the difference between the principle and detail and decide based on principles which details should be applied in which given situation. Is that Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanande.